All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakapatash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful lick out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lick, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. And what I want to get into today, dealing with, hidden, death tolls, because as we understand that the news and media is ran, by the elites of Esau Edom, so they pretty much, have control of what's shown and what's covered, what's reported. They manipulate the numbers, according to their agenda that they're trying to push. And there's a lot of things that happen in the earth, that are hidden. It's not spoken on. There's a lot of death, a lot of turmoil, a lot of, conflicts that are not talked about, through these media outlets, what they call it a media blackout. And I found this article on tyrannynews.com. And what we're seeing basically, man, is the earth is fighting, against these heathens, man. Matter of fact, before I even get that article, let me start here. Man. Let's get this in Obadiah. All right, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. All right, verse 15. And it says, "For the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al Shah is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee, and thy reward shall turn upon thy own head." And that's what we're seeing happening in the earth amongst the heathens, is the Lord is expressing his anger, all right, for what they have done to his people, man. And the scriptures explain why. When you go to Zechariah 1 and 15, it says, "I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease." Yeah, because Israel in this lowest condition. See, as long as our people stayed in a condition of perpetual sin, the heathen were at ease, because there was no way that we can come back into power, come back into rulership, as long as we was in this condition, all right, of sin. And the heathen knew that. So what the heathen would do, all right, they would conspire to keep us in that condition of sin, beginning with Esau Edom. He spends tons of resources, all right, to finance our people living a culture of sin, which puts these heathens at ease. But now the house of David has awakened. The spirit of Yahushua is in the earth. Now there's a spirit of obedience, and now we're seeing the earth is fighting against these heathens, man, because now, hey, we're finna come back into power, man. Lord willing, we endure. It says, "For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction." Yeah, everyone has taken it too far. We was given to the hands of our enemy Esau Edom, and also we was put under all these other heathens, all right, for our punishment. But everyone has taken it too far, and the Lord is displeased at that. And now we're seeing the earth bucking up against, all right, these heathens, man, beginning with Esau Edom. Now, when you read the news, this article, this from Tyranny News, which is, like an underground news site. It says, new evidence shows 91 subway trains were flooded, implying tens of thousands of deaths. It says, although the flood has receded from Xinzhou, Henan Providence, the inquiry into the real death toll from the flood should not end. The latest polls below reveal stunning details for us to estimate the casualties in the subway system alone. You see, you have flooding in China, flooding in, Germany. Great flood happened in Germany, man. The earth is fighting against these people, man. And it says, my friend who was working at Xinzhou Triple X insurance company said that in total 91 subway trains have been flooded, and that their company had to pay out RMB 4 billion for the loss. Eventually, we know how many subway trains have been flooded. It says Xinjiang government announced that 91 subway trains were trapped in the flood. Each train comprises 6 carriages and each carriages can accommodate 1,870 passengers. Therefore, 91 trains can accommodate 170,000 people. At the times the trains were flooded, the carriages are usually full or even overloaded. Even if we assume all the carriages were full, there would be 85,000 people trapped in the subway in that period. Then can the government tell us exactly how many people were drowned in the subway system? So anywhere between 170,000 to 85,000, all right, people, all right, were drowned, in this flood, man. That's a lot of deaths, man. You see, and we're gonna see these numbers keep jumping up and happen more frequently. Now it says now with more evidence emerging online, more intelligence provided by whistleblowers in the Henan province, we know for sure that the death toll from the flood is in the tens of thousands, which in itself a man-made disaster as a result of political infighting between a gang of local officials and the top provisional leaders appointed by Xi Jinping. Now, it says that there's people being rounded up in China, and these are the people that's being rounded up. People who fled the flood Jingang Tunnel, especially those with video records of what happened there. So if you have video record, you're being rounded up. People who have insider information about the government decision to discharge the flood from the brimming reservoirs before the rainstorm hit Xinjiang. People who participated in the execution of the above government decision, and people who have collected slews of information and evidence about the flood. All these people are being rounded up, man. Because they saying they released waters from the reservoirs that caused, pretty much a mass death. And see, we had that happen recently in Jackson, where it was raining real bad and it was flooding. And what the governor was finna do was to release that water from the reservoir so it wouldn't drown, so it wouldn't flood where Esau and them was at, but it will flood, all right, into the hoods where Jake was at, man. But it didn't rain enough. What they were finna they were finna do the motherfucker with Jake down here, man. All right, so I wanna play this. This was sent to me. So like because even you have floods, down here, in the states, that are increasing, man.
Nice chest. There's another ice chest. Cities in Arizona have been hit by flash floods today on July 30th. Huge streams of water hit the city of Miami. More than 100 homes had already been damaged when officials announced extreme flooding in the area. The Phoenix Meteorological Office reported significant flooding, warning that it was an extremely life-threatening slouch. People need to take refuge in the hills, and in no case try to cross the flooded sections of the road. The Red Cross quickly opened a shelter for populations affected by flash floods. It also notes that rivers of rushing water and mudflows have flooded areas east of Phoenix today, completely blocking the main highway, immobilizing evacuation, and creating chaos. The reason for this was heavy rain causing floods and flooding the streets, which also caused a collapse on Highway 60. Exit from the city in a westerly direction is difficult. According to officials, the road will be closed presumably until July 31st.
So, major floods in America, man, and I say pretty much, whether they man, they're caused by men, dealing with the levees and reservoirs and, unleashing, different waters, in particular areas. At the end of the day, people are really dying and affected, man. So I want to get this because at the end of the day, we know Yahweh Shema Shah is in complete control. And before the second coming of Yahweh, these things would increase. Now, when you get Isaiah 28:2, it said, "Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Yeah, so the introduction of Yahweh Shai is gonna be with storms, floods, hurricanes. You see, it's gonna get real bad out here on every level, man. The earth is finna be terrorized in every type of way, man. So we're just watching this thing play out. So Lord will, I just want to bring that out. Lord will, you brothers and you few sisters edified. So next time I say Shalom.